Good morning. I have gone very white and summery today. I am very warm, but that's because the sun shines, like you can see, directly on me in my bed and my room. But at work where I'm going today, it's been very, very cold because the door doesn't close properly, so we get wind constantly. So I thought I'm gonna go with a long sleeve top, which I haven't done under a dress in a very long time. At this job, as probably in most jobs, I can't wear sort of these kinds of straps. And I don't really like doing t-shirts with straps. I prefer long sleeve. And I've not worn my white long sleeve top or my white leggings, which I'm wearing, in yonks. I cannot remember the last time I wore white leggings or a white long sleeve top. So I decided this last night that I was going to wear this today, and I really wasn't sure if it was going to work, if I was going to like it, how I was going to feel about it. But actually I looked in the mirror and I'm not against it. So that's nice. This is a new winter outfit that I've made out of mostly summery or more summery clothes. The real reason why I came on here though is because I came back from my holiday a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And something I've noticed, which actually happened to me as well 2 years ago when I got COVID and was stuck at home for about 10 days, is that all of a sudden, from 0 to 100, everything's come into bloom and it's so lovely. Everything is green and lush. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the blossom, I love that starting, everything, but I also love the green. And I love trees in their fullness. And I have 2 trees outside my window that have been either totally bare or, the start of a flower, but really not much, that have now just come into full green bloom, and it's so beautiful to look out my window, and as I say, the sun is shining on them and it's gorgeous. And then there's a couple of trees further down that were totally bare and are now sort of starting to blossom or have got full blossom. It just makes me very happy. I like it a lot. I was about to say I really like the month of March, and it turns out we're sort of at the end of April. I have got probably about 3 weeks, maybe 3.5, until I need to hand everything in for university, and I feel incredibly behind. And I've not got a lot of time because this week I've been working a lot. Next week it's Pesach, so we've got various meals that we'll be out for, and there's a lot of times I can't study. And then after that, I've literally got like 1 week to hand everything in. So I'm getting a bit nervous. And I'm just I know I'll get it done, I will get it done, but I'd rather get it done with like a couple of days to spare than on the day itself. I'm even working on the day itself. And I keep saying yes to more work, and I know I shouldn't because I need this time, but I also need the money. And I want to show these 2 different companies that I'm working for that I do care and I am loyal and, I want to work. But between now and when I hand in the video, I'm supposed to have 1 more vlog go up that I haven't edited yet. And so I've just usually I do my editing like in one go if I can. If it's 1 vlog, I try and edit it all in 1 sitting. And that usually will take, depending on how long the vlog is, probably about 2 hours, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. Probably more, actually. And even if I don't do it necessarily in 1 sitting, it would be over the course of 1 day, so I keep it open on my laptop. But because I know I have this deadline of getting this vlog up, I know I don't have to, but I want to get this vlog up. It's the one that goes up the 2nd of May. So you hopefully would have seen it already. And doing all my uni work and obviously working, I've decided I am going to break it up. I took a risk and I've just been working at it sort of half an hour at a time. And I think I'm quite close to the end now. But I really don't want to allow myself too much time on that because I need to focus on my uni stuff. And I've still got a bunch of things I'm trying to watch with my friend. We only got to the first half of Oppenheimer, so I still need to watch the second half. But again, I've said to them it's all going to have to wait until the 7th of May, or the 8th, I suppose. So that's all the updates I wanted to fill you in on in this bit of the vlog. I have no idea what this vlog is going to entail. I don't think I'm going to be filming very much over the next even week or so because I'm so busy with everything, and because of Pesach. I'm hoping I'll fill you in a little bit on Pesach. It's Passover, by the way, and I imagine that probably will be in this vlog. So stick around, see what happens, we'll find out together. See you then. Hello, I've just come in. I'm very warm. I think my grandma has turned up the heat in the apartment. She's not feeling great. She's got a bit of a cold, so I wouldn't be surprised. And it's so warm in here. I was very well dressed for work. I kept the jumper on all day. That's how cold it is in that building. But I just wanted to show you the outfit because I really like it and I think I'll be reusing it quite a bit. And it did feel a bit out there. I also put in these earrings, I don't know if you can see, but let me show you the full outfit. There you are. So I have this jumper. It's a bit longer, but I tucked it in. And then I have this dress and my white leggings and even my white fluffy socks, and I was wearing boots. And I'm wearing my, you can't see it, hold on, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see, but I've got the white long sleeve top underneath and I just love it. Also, today at work, I was able to do so much for university, and it was even like a busy, or not busy, but busier day than the last few days. But just in between any free moments I had, I went back to my essay and I worked on some stuff, because I was clever and emailed myself some stuff over this morning or last night, whenever it was. But I was silly because I forgot to send one thing over that would have been quite helpful. And my grandma's out at the moment. I think she's probably getting her hair cut, but I'm not entirely sure. I also need to get my hair cut, but I think that will be a post handing everything in for university treat. Or I can just cut my own hair, I suppose. I might do that. But it means that at least until she gets back, I don't have any commitments. So I'm either going to edit a video or keep writing university things. And I've booked in a tutorial for next week, so that's good. But I am very hot, so I'm gonna open the window even more than it already is and get on with the things I want to get on with. I also still need to unpack. I sort of did a half unpacking whenever I first got here, but I've definitely still got quite a bit to put away. But that is all for now. I will see you later. Bye! Good morning, I have just washed my hair, which feels great, and now I have brought in all my laundry. By the way, today was a sleep-in day, supposedly, as in I didn't have any reason I needed to be up early, and I still woke up just after 8, which is amazing. I'd love for that to be my new pattern, but we'll see how long that lasts. I've just brought in my laundry. I had a lot of laundry from both from the trip and also from even before the trip, because I had lots of bedding and stuff, because my brother was here and my aunt was here and whatnot. And I think I changed my own bedding as well, so there was a lot, and towels and everything. We did this laundry on a couple of days ago, and my laundry basket is full again. But it's now Friday, so we're not going to do any laundry over Shabbat, and then we won't do one on Sunday because Monday we've got guests, because Monday night is already Seder night 1, which is Passover, the start of Passover. So I'm just going to have to suffer until Wednesday, and even then probably my grandma will have lots of laundry as well, so we'll just figure it out. Luckily though, I have plenty of clothes, so I'll manage. Also, I could have just stood up the entire time. This combination, top and skirt, absolute winner of the year, I reckon. Because I really like this skirt, but I never have any tops to pair it with. I find it really hard. I usually just go for a plain top, which I don't really like wearing. And I just, this is good for me. I still want to put in jewellery today. I feel like it's a jewellery day. I wore earrings yesterday, I don't know if I pointed that out. But anyway, got a big pile of laundry to deal with, so I'm gonna do that now. And I will keep listening to tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow because I'm really enjoying it. And I will talk to you maybe after. We shall see. Goodbye. Shabbat was very chill. I really enjoyed the outfit and the look I put together. Obviously I couldn't show you because it was Shabbat and since I've gone to sleep and whatnot, but basically I pinned my hair back with a clip. I had this necklace in, I had my big silver earrings, which actually you might not have seen yet. I had my green cactus dress, which doesn't fit perfectly, but when I'm home just with my grandma, it's not a problem. And anyway, I was wearing my jumper over the top of it. And I do love this jumper. A friend gave it to me, I think back in 2014, 10 years, I think. Oh, maybe no, 14 might be too early. No, oh, I don't know. Maybe 17, maybe only 7 years. And when she gave it to me, she was like, oh, you know, this is your colour. And I loved it. I don't wear it loads because it's not quite, you know, it's not as heavy or as warm as a hoodie and it doesn't have any pockets. So it really is more sort of summery, springy kinda. But I do love it when I get to wear it. And just some black leggings. But I really liked the earrings paired with this necklace. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I don't think I've worn those earrings in quite a while. And I really liked I liked the whole look. Anyway, the reason why I've come on here is because I've got some medical things to tell you about. Not really. A week ago, in Spain, in our last weekend in Spain, some things happened. Number one, Friday night, we'd had a lovely meal. We had been speaking about medical emergencies. I was wearing my sandals because it was warm. I reached over the couch to get something for my sister. I stubbed my toe because the couch was not an open couch. And it was a really bad stub of the toe. It hurts. It hurt like a regular stub of the toe. It didn't hurt that much, but I could see that the niggle, it was my big toe, and like if this is the size of my toenail, I suppose, but like the whole thing, it was like here that it was digging in, so quite low down, and it was starting to bleed and everything. Now, luckily, my mum's a GP, so I was like, hey, speaking of medical emergencies, could you come over here, please? And it wasn't hurting, but I'm not good with anything medical at all. And so I was just freaking out about like what this was going to mean for my foot, and more importantly what it was going to mean sort of when I got back to the UK without my mum there, and when the nail eventually tore off. Sorry, this is gross. Because it was so far down that like it wouldn't have just been the nail, it would have been like the whole, you know, the bit that's like this bit. I'm not good with medical terms. Anyway, she was like, yeah, it's not gonna look great and you're not gonna love it, but it'll take about 6 months to heal and then it'll be back to normal. And to be fair, I do have fairly strong nails on the whole, and especially my toenails because I obviously never affect them. Anyway, all this to say, I was very worried. I just didn't know, I didn't want to look at the skin, basically. The pain was like a little bit throbby, but it was fine. I'm fine with the pain. It was just the mentality of it. Long story short, that happened last Friday night. It is now Saturday evening, and today, this morning, I could see, actually yesterday already, I could see it was getting quite loose, and it wasn't as deep as either me or my mum had expected. And I kind of just tried to see how far it would go without obviously pulling it off or without hurting. This was yesterday, and I could see it was you know, it was moving. It wasn't hurting as much as I was worried it would. And then today, I just kept pulling, and it came off. And it didn't hurt at all, not one bit, and it still doesn't. And it's actually really not as bad as either of us were expecting, and I can look at my toe, which is good. Now, this is going to be really gross. I'm going to show you the nail, so if you don't like seeing that, look away now. Ta-da! Right, so that was medical emergency number one. Number two is that last Saturday, I don't think I spoke about this or even recorded it, I got very burnt on Saturday. Where we were staying for that weekend had a beautiful pool, and we all just spent Saturday lounging around it. Now, I purposely stayed indoors more because rather than sitting by the pool because I know I'm not good with the sun and I had some stuff to do. But eventually I went out maybe for an hour or two, and I was wearing my black daisy romper thing, which I would usually wear with leggings because I basically never have my legs out. I just don't like it. Sorry, I had to put my dressing gown in the laundry, and I'm very happy that I finally did because I've now got a few days without it and I don't like being without it. So I had my legs out basically, and they got so burnt. I got burnt on the very first day that we were in Spain, and then I didn't get burnt again because I kept applying sunscreen. And on Saturday I didn't, which is so on me. But I wasn't the only one who got burnt on Saturday. Everyone did. The sun was just a lot stronger on Saturday than any other day. I got so sunburnt on my legs. I cannot remember the last time I was this sunburnt. Like, it was worse than that time in Greece 2 years ago when my face got burnt. It was, I genuinely cannot remember a time I got so sunburnt. And my legs have been red since, so that was a week ago. They're still red today. They've kind of gone a bit purple. It's been concerning me, to be honest. I was a bit worried I'd done like serious damage, and I probably have. But anyway, usually when I burn like my face or whatever, it fades. It burns for like a day or two, and then within 48 hours it fades into a tan. Tan, she says, being as white as she is. And I know some people peel, and those are like the fair-skinned, like the what's it called, pink undertone, I think. And apparently I've got more yellow. I've probably got a mix. But I have never, not that I can recall, ever peeled. I always just fade into a tan eventually. This morning, I was getting changed, and my legs started peeling, and it was so cool. It's one of those things that I feel such a shame only happens when you've done damage to your skin. Like, I wish we peeled like, you know, snakes all the time. It was unbelievably satisfying. it was so strange because you'd be peeling it and it didn't hurt, but it felt like it should, and it felt so satisfying, both the sensation in my hand but also on my leg. So strange. And it being my entire thigh and down my leg, that's a lot of surface area, so there's a lot to peel. So again, I'm going to show you something really gross. I'm going to show you a bit of my skin because it's so cool to me. Look at that. Can you see that? Weird. So weird. Like, that's my skin. So weird. I have another little bit here. I had so many little bits, or big bits. Like, what? So I thought that was pretty cool and weird. Anyway, that's all I wanted to share. I was just baffled by it. I'm now going to go talk to a friend, and I will see you whenever I see you next. We spent today, well, we had a pretty chill day. My grandma's not very well, so we had a very lazy Shabbat. I fell asleep. I had a nap for like 3 hours, and I was wiped. I didn't even feel tired, but I was lying in bed, and I could not keep my eyes open. So that happened. But then this evening we've been sort of preparing for Pesach, Passover. So we've been clearing out the fridge, moving things away, washing things up and whatever. And I think tomorrow is going to be a big Pesach day. Also, I finally finished unpacking everything from Spain, so that was good as well. Anyway, I will speak to you probably tomorrow with updates. And yeah, I'll see you then. Bye. Hello. Today has consisted of, unsurprisingly, a lot of Pesach prep, which included buying last minute things from a shop. So I had to go out, which was great. I didn't mind it too much, actually. And then I spoke to my parents as well, which was really nice. I haven't had a chance to properly speak to them since we left each other. And then we tackled the kitchen. I will try and pop in a clip of the way the kitchen looks now, if I have a chance to film it. And basically, we have to lock away food and utensils and plates and cups and whatever else that has been used for what we call is chametz. Chametz is yeast, but not. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it is what we are not allowed to eat during Pesach, and we can't have anything. Not just can we not have anything that it has chametz in it, we can't have anything that is not strictly approved as kosher for Pesach. So chocolate probably wouldn't have chametz in it usually, but you can't buy regular chocolate because it's not been approved. And the list goes on and on and on. And you can't have the same utensils, you can't have the same plates, you can't have the same mugs, you can't have the same anything at all. There are ways to kosher it, which is what we call it, but there are only certain things you can kosher, which means that you often end up with lots of cupboards that are locked for the week. So we did quite a bulk of it today, but it's nice to have it done, and I feel really glad that I was able to help. And then after that was quite a few hours, but then after that I've been sat doing some uni work, and I think I'm finished with my dissertation, at least this version of it. But the problem is, I don't know if I spoke about this already, but I've done each bit individually, I feel, so I don't know if it's cohesive throughout, and I need to read through it, but I didn't want to read through it today because my mind's already been so like engaged with it. I want to sort of take some time out, but then equally, when am I going to have a chance to actually read through it again? Because I'm working all day tomorrow, then it's Chag for 3 days, then we're out, then I have my tutorial. So we'll see, maybe tonight when we get back, because we're going out for pizza, which is very much actually my family's tradition. But I'm glad that I'm doing it with this family over here. What else did I want? Oh, then I watched some YouTube. I finally caught up on all the YouTube videos that I missed because I was away and didn't have a chance to watch anything. So that was nice because I wasn't expecting that to be a thing that I could do until I finished my studies. But the real reason I wanted to come on here was because I had a little chuckle. I also spoke to my grandma, by the way. But anyway, I went onto Google Photos and got some memories from this time of year, every year in the past, however many years. And April is always quite a significant time because it is Pesach, and often I will be with family or I will be doing exciting stuff. Last year I was in Australia, the year before I was in Israel, the year before I was on my own, I think. That was a sad year because of COVID. The year before that, Australia. The year before that, America. Plus, when I was still in school, that was around the time, just before Pesach, is when we did our school musicals. And I got a picture from however many years ago of me being in one of the school musicals. Actually not of me being in it, but of me home after it, still with my makeup on. And I was curious if I'd ever documented that show on YouTube. Because I know with Guys and Dolls, I mentioned it a lot in my Vala, but I couldn't see anything about this one. So I went back to my videos of that year, and I hadn't mentioned it at all for some reason. But what was most noticeable for me was that in the specific video I chose, I was wearing this jumper. I was wearing the pajama bottoms that I wore last week in Spain. I was wearing my dressing gown, which I still have. And this video is not a new video. It's from quite a number of years ago. And I just had to laugh and sort of slightly chuckle at the fact that all those clothes are clothes I still own, basically. And it kind of makes me want to go back to like my very first videos and see how many of the clothes I don't have anymore. Because I would gauge that I probably have about 90% of them still. And that's like 8.5 years ago now. So I just wanted to share all that because I thought it was funny and relevant. And now I'm getting lots of messages. Also, today, basically, when we did our Dear Hopeful swap boxes, can you please be quiet? I received from Katie Rebecca a little thing of Terry's chocolate orange Easter egg mini things. Nothing I'd ever seen before, but it looked good because I like Terry's chocolate orange. And I thought they were going to be individually wrapped, and they weren't, so I was kind of confused when I pulled the first one out. So basically, I had my first one of it today. And they're like hard shell, probably like chocolate eggs, I guess. I'm not very familiar with Easter treats, obviously. But I had the first one and I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this. And then I had another one and I was like, oh, this is very good, actually. So I think I may or may not have eaten half the packet today. But it's okay. It was my study treat. I haven't had raisins in ages. In fact, I'm now reaching the point. I literally finish my studies, if all goes well, in 2.5 weeks. Not even 2.5, like 2 weeks and 2 days. And I'm wondering, am I gonna get to the end of my studies without finishing my pack of raisins? Because I was convinced that I was gonna finish all my raisins before I finished studying. But as I say, I've got basically 2 weeks, one of which I can't have any raisins anyway because it's Pesach. We'll see what will happen first, finishing the studies or finishing the raisins. Let's find out. I've just not needed them, I think, as much because I'm just internally so motivated by what I'm writing about and researching and everything. And panicked. You know, like I don't have time to relax about it anymore. I need to get it done. I can't believe it's only 2 weeks away. I'm terrified, but also really excited. I've made myself a really long list of like little treats I'm gonna give myself once I'm done. One of them was to catch up on my YouTube Watch Later list, but I've done that now. But a big one is that I'm gonna go and treat myself to see a show, because I haven't seen any shows in April, which is the first month I haven't seen any shows this year. And I don't mind that, it's okay. I like not spending money, but I can treat myself once I finish. If I can get something, I hand my last thing in on the 7th of May, if I can get something for the 8th, that would be awesome. But I won't put pressure on it. I'd rather get a cheap seat than force myself to go on a specific day. But that's all for the future. I've still got 2 weeks to get through. And I need to book my tickets for graduation, which I keep saying I'm gonna do and then I don't because I don't want to do the grad ball gown hire, whatever it's called. But I need to. I don't like spending money. And I guess I think a part of me is also like, I don't know if I'm going to be ready on time. At least that's how I felt last week when they became available. Now I'm feeling a bit more confident. Someone is really trying to reach me. I guess I ought to go. So yeah, I guess those are all my thoughts, feelings, happenings right now. And I am going to go because this person obviously wants my attention. Goodbye. Hello, I am very, very, very full. It is very much my family's tradition to go out for pizza. I think I may have mentioned this already. The night before, as the last supper, as we like to call it, before we're no longer allowed chametz, or as we like to call it, normal food. And I'm not the biggest fan of pizza. It's never my go-to choice, really, unless I'm really craving it for some reason. But it's tradition. And it just so happens that my aunt either has the same tradition or just decided pizza would be a good idea tonight. So we went. And the pizza was nice, it was all right. I like being able to eat pizza with my hands and it not being messy. I like it to hold its shape. And this pizza did not hold its shape. We held up the slice and all the pizza fell off. I ended up going with a fork and knife, but then the knives weren't very like sharp to cut it with, so it just wasn't the most pleasurable experience. And on top of that, it was so loud. I mean, understandably, it was packed. It was a Sunday night. It was the night before Pesach, like, understandably, it was packed. But on top of that, they had the music quite loud. They had about 5 different birthday celebrations where they cranked up the music even louder, had people coming out with drums and shakers and whatnot. And in theory, I get that it's really festive, but the fact that it happened about 5 times in the, hour and a half we were there, and it was so loud. And it went on for a while as well. It wasn't like a quick thing. And as someone who gets sensory overload and doesn't like loud sounds, it wasn't great. But I'm making this all seem like it was a really awful night, and it wasn't. It was really lovely to be with, I had like cousins around and whatever. Like, it was really pleasurable company, really lovely. Just the dining situation wasn't what I would pick. And then we had dessert, and we had 2 different sorbets. We had a lemon sorbet and a blood orange sorbet. The lemon sorbet was nice. The blood orange sorbet was divine. It was so good. There was something about it that just, it was so good. So all in all, a lovely evening, despite what I've just said. But I'm so full now, and I keep forgetting that I've got a full day of work tomorrow, and I don't even mind the full day of work. It's the fact that I need to get up earlier than I have been all week. I've been getting up around 8, I would say. To be fair, actually, today I think I got up around 7:30 because of the lights. But tomorrow I'll be needing to get up around 7:30, and it's just that half hour that I'm like, oh. Plus, it's going to be a really late night tomorrow. I don't even think I've spoken about Seder at all on here. Basically, Passover is 8 days long, or if you're in Israel, 7. And the first 2 nights, if you're not in Israel, are Seder nights. They're like the big ones. And there is so much to a Seder. Like, there are a lot of components. I think there's 14 components, and it's long. And people can finish at different times. Sometimes I finished at 4 in the morning, sometimes I finished at 2 in the morning, sometimes I finished at midnight, although very rarely. Usually I would say 1 or 2 in the morning is pretty average. And I remember one year, we were talking about this earlier today, me and my parents. I think back in 2014, I want to say, we went to Holland, and we went to a friend's family for the second Seder night, and I think we finished the Seder at around 3 in the morning. We were all playing Schulbach, like, just, because you're just delirious. Now, I'm not expecting it to be quite as long or as late as that, because I've got a gentler family, shall we say, and I don't think we're going to be doing a lot of the extra bits that my family often adds, which I do love and I will be missing, because they just add a lot of discussion and games and fun things that keep it, interesting every year. But the one good thing about that is that it might not be as late as I'm used to. But we'll see. Tomorrow's also the first day that I'm doing a proper, one sitting full day of work. I've done a half day of one job and a half day of the other, but I feel like that's different. And actually, I'm not doing a full day because I've cut it short by an hour because I want to be home to help. But it's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. I think I'm a bit nervous, just because it's the kind of job. I've got 2 different jobs, and one of them is super chill, and I know what I'm doing, and I'm totally cool with it. The other job, which is the one I'm going to tomorrow, is one where I'm totally on my own, and it's more important. I really can't mess it up. You can't rectify it if you mess it up. Well, you can, but it's really not ideal. It's more urgent, it's more important, there's more systems, there's more new systems to learn, and they're not as intuitive as the other one. The first job is, for me, I learnt it within an hour, because it's just, for me, really intuitive how the system works, everything about it. Whereas this job, it's a more old-fashioned system, and it's got more components to it, and there's more specific things you need to look out for, and it's easier to make mistakes. And I just feel I can't make mistakes. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. It'll be interesting. I'm sure I'll try and let you know, although I don't know if I'll have a chance to, because by the time I get back, it's going to be manic, all hands on deck, and then getting changed and getting ready. Oh, but what I will show you, for Pesach, for the Seder, you use what's called a Haggadah, and this is one I got from my bat mitzvah, from my aunt actually, who's going to be joining us tomorrow. It's both sides, but this is the side I would read it from. No, that's not true. This is the side I would read it from. And it's got everything, but then on top of that, it's got bits like... No, that's not a good example. Well, there's sections like this, where it's not actually about... You can't read that, but it's not about... It's a discussion sort of area, but that's not a good... Oh no, it does have an example of Harry Potter in this. It's for example, here we're talking about abbreviations and we're reading about abbreviations, and then this thing says, abbreviations in Harry Potter, like so much else, are both meaningful and playful, etc. But then there's also these things where they've asked students things sort of related to it. So this one says, how do you know if you can trust someone? And then Zahava at grade 8 said, if they keep a secret. Deva, grade 7, said, if they stand by me through good and bad. And, there's, Lily from grade 5 said, if you pinky promise with them. It's just a really sweet Haggadah, and I've used it for quite a number of years now. I think I got it for my bat mitzvah anyway. It might have been a few years later. And then this side is like the English side, but it's not the full thing. It's just got more discussion-y bits and bobs. So yeah, and I've got a few Haggadot actually over the years, over various birthdays, or actually at Pesach you sometimes get gifts, because when don't you get gifts? But that's the only one I've brought over that's mine, that I brought over from Australia last time I came back. And probably over the years I'll bring more back over this side of the world, but because at the moment I don't have my own place, as is a common theme in many of my videos, it's gonna have to wait. And at least I've got one. So I guess there's your next little nugget of information, except it's much bigger than a nugget, but you get what I mean, for Pesach, for this bit of the video, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow, but I don't know. Bye! Hello, I don't have very long, I just wanted to come on here to say that work was good, I think, I hope. I felt pretty good about it. I didn't feel like I was drowning or struggling. I did feel like I went to my manager a few more times than I needed to, but it's fine. I literally, on my way home, I had to stop by a Jewish area just to pick something up for my grandma. And it was amazing. All the food shops were properly closed. And of course they are, but it was just very cool to see. Because that was around 4 o'clock. Well, maybe 4:30. Anyway, then the minute I walked through the door, I was in the kitchen helping, because that's just what happens. But I've been on my feet now for a good few hours. It's like, I think it's past 7, literally without a break. So I'm a bit tired now, which is not a great way to start the Seder, but hey ho. But it is starting to feel, finally, like Pesach. Like I wasn't feeling it until I walked through the door today and could smell all the Pesach smells. And I think we're more or less done. Pesach actually starts, I think, around 8. I believe guests are coming around 7:30, so I probably need to get changed soon. But I just wanted to give you an update before I disappear for a few days. I am worrying about university work, but we'll figure out something. And that is all, I think. So I will see you after the next 2 Seder nights. Over here. I lied. Quick pre-Pesach look at how I've dressed up. I'm not thrilled about it, to be honest. I'm not sold on it, but we're just gonna go for it. We're back with the red floral theme. We've got the earrings, half up, half down, the classic necklace, a red dress, which I've barely ever worn, and still figuring out how I feel about it. But it's very, Hawaiian, tropical, and then just black leggings and comfortable socks because it's going to be a long night. And I have spent the whole afternoon in my boots, which my boots are comfortable, but not just standing in any shoes for a while is not fun. That's all. Now I will see you later. Bye!